Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be changing the oil on this 2002 Saturn L200. And it's been on the road for over 20 years, and I want to show you guys how to keep your car this old running year after year. So the Saturn L200 was a part of the Saturn L series from 2000 to 2005 and was a GM brand, and it was really known for affordability, reliability, and great fuel economy. So what made these cars unique was their plastic body panel, which meant that they didn't rust unlike other cars. So that's why after all these years, this Saturn still looks pretty darn good. So under the hood, this is a 2.2 Ecotec 4-cylinder motor. And this thing takes 5 quarts of oil, which is kind of a lot for this small engine. But really what this car was known for back in the 2000 was fuel economy. So this car got 24 in the city and 32 on the highway with a combined economy of 27 mpg. So back then that was really good. In fact, most cars today gets about the same amount of fuel economy. If you think about the similar type models like your Accords, the Corollas, even the Avalons and the Camrys, they all get about, high 20 mpgs. So changing your oil is one of the most important things you guys can do to keep your engine running smoothly year after year. Fresh oil reduces friction, keeps the engine clean, helps prevent wear and tear. Skipping oil changes can lead to sludge buildup, and that's one of the biggest reasons why car engines fail, is because they don't change their oil on a regular basis. And nobody wants to deal with a premature engine problem, because that's going to cost you a ton of money in the long run. So one of the best things you guys can do to maintain your engine performance is change your oil on a regular basis. Now for this particular car, you want to change the oil no more than every 3,000 miles or 3 months. The new modern cars, you can go up to 5 to 6 months at maximum. Doesn't matter if you only put 1,000 miles on the car, you want to change the oil at least every 6 months. And there's a light inside this car that gives you a reminder to change the oil at every 3,000 miles. So once you guys see that light come on, you want to make sure you change that oil. All right guys, so this is basically what you'll need to do an oil change on pretty much any car on the market. Doesn't matter what it is. Only thing that's going to be unique to your car is going to be the wrench you'll need to take off the old oil filter. For this Saturn, it's going to be a 32 millimeter wrench, or if you have a big crescent wrench, that's going to be just fine. For everything else, you'll need just a basic wrench set, a new filter, and oil. And if you don't know your oil type and grade you need, you can look on the filler cap, and the filler cap will tell you exactly what type of oil you'll need, or your owner's manual. You'll need a bucket or something to catch the old oil, a funnel to put the new oil in, paper towel. Now, most importantly, you'll need jacks. I'm showing 2 different jacks here. The jack that I use is a hydraulic lift jack. This is a lift jack and a jack stand 2-in-1, and that rod right there slides into that jack so that it acts like a jack stand, so that if the hydraulic fails, that acts like a jack stand so it doesn't come crashing down on me or whoever. But if you don't have one of these, you guys can just use a regular car jack. But if you're going to do that, I highly recommend getting a safety jack for your car, because that's your life insurance. If these things, scissor jacks or hydraulic jacks, fail, and they do fail, and if you use this one, it's kind of skinny and kittywampus, so it could be a little sketch. So get yourself a safety jack stand for this job. Also, you'll need a wheel chock. So anytime you're lifting up a car, you want to chock your wheels front and back so that it doesn't roll and jack won't come crashing down and killing you. Now, the best way to find where your drain plug is, because that's what we're doing, we're jacking this thing up to locate our drain plug. What I like to kind of reference is your oil dipstick. Oftentimes the oil dipstick is in the front on the smaller engines, but if it's on the side over here or that side, that's generally where your drain plug is going to be under your car. So you just got to follow this dipstick all the way down, and that's generally where your drain plug is going to be. Again, if it's over here, your dipstick, that's where your drain plug is going to be on this side. So just keep that in mind. And that's also a good reference to, if you're trying to figure out, okay, what side do I, jack up the car? If the dipstick is on this side, I would jack up that side, same side that the dipstick is on. Hope that makes sense. All right, guys, so this is the safety pin I was telling you about. If you guys want to buy this on the internet, Amazon, I'll leave a link down below. All right, guys, so now we're under the car. One thing I like to do when I'm working on cars is I put down a mat. This is this is a fluid catcher mat. It's a rubber backing back here, so if I happen to spill a bunch of oil, it's going to stay right here and it's not going to leak through the street or onto the street. Now, this is where on your L200 bolt is right here, and we got this black pan sitting right here to catch the dirty oil. So once again, this is a 15 millimeter socket you'll need for that drain plug. So by the way, folks, I'm teaching my little brother here how to change his oil in his car. So bear with us. Wow, it's under really tight.
So with forward pressure, you said?
Yep. So you want to get a little forward pressure while you're twisting it. Just twist it kind of slow, and you'll kind of know when it's ready to come out.
Is the oil going to be hot?
It won't be boiling hot, but it'll be warm. There you go. Okay, now take the bolt out. Woo, nice. Was it hot?
No.
Okay, put the oil right here on this pan. Very good. All right, so this is going to take maybe about 2 minutes for it to drain out. So we'll just wait and then we'll come back. So once you get the plug out of the oil pan, you want to remove the old gasket. You can, in this particular case, you need a little pick like this to pick out the rubber gasket on the bolt. Some just comes right off because some are maybe brass, some are rubber and metal combination. Some are plastic here. So we're going to go and replace it with the same one. And it's really important that you guys replace this little washer every oil change, and these things are like less than $1. So when we went to Napa to get our filter and oil, you can pick one up for from them for about 50 cents to $1. So pretty cheap. That's got to get done. Otherwise, you probably notice in the camera a little bit of oil seepage around the bolt. Well, that's because this gasket is old, and you can see it's kind of torn a little bit. All right, guys. So all the oil has drained out. We're going to put the bolt back in. Just finger tight at the moment, and after you get that bolt in, you want to go and take the time to clean up the area with a rag to get all the old oil out or off the oil pan. This drain plug needs to get torqued down to 24 Newton meter or 18 foot-pounds. So it's really important that you guys torque this down to the torque spec, but more importantly, do not if you don't have a torque wrench, that's fine, but do not over tighten it. Just snug, super snug with that rubber gasket on the drain plug. That'll hold it in there from vibrating off. So again, do not over tighten.
All right, that's good.
Okay, and then why don't you do it one more time? Perfect. Good job. All right, so after pulling the pan out, this thing's got super low oil. This is probably have maybe 1.5 quarts of oil in this thing. So we got to figure out why is this thing burning oil. I think I know why, but this is why, you guys, it's important to check your oil on a regular basis. Every time you fill up, I like to check my dipstick because you never know if it's burning this much, and this is like borderline, on the red of danger. Okay. All right, so what's convenient about this particular car is that the oil filter is right on top. So go and take your wrench right here, and this is straight up and down. So when we take this filter out, it shouldn't make a whole lot of mess. And then after you get it loose, you should be able to just take it off with your hands. Okay, and then what I like to do is I like to have a catch can. Don't shake it, just slowly bring it up and then put it in this bucket. There you go. Nice. Go and drop it. Nice. Okay. And then what you want to do is you want to get yourself a nice clean rag and clean up the whole area right there. I'm really surprised that this older Saturn is using this cartridge type filter. From back in the day, they used the traditional oil filter cans. But a lot of cars nowadays are using this cartridge type style because one, is probably cheaper to produce and it's better for the car. And that's a long story short. You don't have to worry about the bypass valve spring, malfunctioning on some of these aftermarket oil can or filter cans with these filters. With this type of filters, it's already built into the actual this filter right here, so you don't have to worry about it. And then we're going to be replacing it with this cartridge right here. Okay, go ahead. So this filter should come straight out. There you go. And go ahead and put it in there. And then what you want to do after you get that old filter out, do a good job of cleaning up the housing of all the old oil. Okay, and then you're going to want to get a little pick or a small flat screwdriver and make sure you don't damage the actual plastic housing, but there's a rubber gasket in there you need to get out so we can replace it. And the new filter should have came with a new gasket.
There.
Okay. Then you want to take your new filter, and this is going to snap right in. Okay, go ahead and push down on that. You should hear a little snap. There you go. Click, and then pull on it. Make sure it doesn't come out. Yep, that's it. And then most importantly, you want to make sure you put a little bit of oil, a new oil around the O-ring that was just replaced. All right, and then go ahead and put it back in. Okay, then once it's hand tightened, you want to take your wrench and tighten it up just a little bit. There's no torque spec on here, so when you tighten this thing, you just want it really snug. Okay, so, and then go and put the wrench back on there. And let me help you here. So this one here, again, you don't want it super tight, but just right there, just little snug. So like I was saying earlier, most of the time, the type of oil you need is generally on the oil filter cap. There you go, just pull straight up. There you go. Set that aside. And then what I like to do is clean up that oil cap really good. And do a quick inspection, make sure there's no debris on there. What I'm always looking for when I pull the filler cap is it frothy, is it weird color, that have accumulated on the cap. In this scenario, it looks really good, so I'm not concerned. So we'll set that aside. So for this particular car, it takes exactly 5 quarts of oil once you remove the filter. So this jug is exactly 5 quarts of oil. And this thing takes 5W30 full synthetic. So last thing we got to do here is fire it up and let it run for about 30 seconds. And then you give a little rev. Okay, and then go and turn it off. Then we're going to come back over here and check the dipstick in just a little bit. Now, in the meantime, while the engine oil is settling down, because we do got to check the level before we're all done, we want to go ahead and collect our old oil, put in the old jar, and just clean up our mess. And then we're going to dispose our old oil at AutoZone. So we'll do that at the very end. But let's first of all measure how much oil came out of the car. So I have this bin right here that tells you exactly how much oil is in the container. So I bet you there's not even like 2 quarts in here. We'll see. The good news is that I don't see like water mixed in with the oil. That's good news. That means there's not a head gasket issue or coolant getting into the oil. So I don't know if you guys can read that, but it's just at 2 quarts. So that means this was 3 quarts short. So again, this is why it's really important to check your oil, especially on an older car, regularly. All right, so now we're going to go and dump the old oil back into the original oil can, and we're going to take this down to AutoZone, just down the street, and recycle it. All right, so go ahead and pull the dipstick out, and let's go ahead and clean it while you pull it out. Clean it all the way good, every bit of it. There you go, and then put it back in, all the way down, and then pull it back out. And when you pull it out, there should be like oil level should be halfway on the bottom part of the dipstick. Let's see here. Let me get focus here. Okay, and then turn it. Okay, so that's kind of where you want it, like right in the middle. If you're not sure exactly the level, wipe it up, put it back in, and then double check it. It never hurts to check it twice. So one last thing I want to mention here is the cost of doing your own oil change versus going to like a Jiffy Lube, for example. So last time I called Jiffy Lube to do an oil change on this Saturn, they wanted $83 to do an oil change. Now we went to Napa this morning and we bought 5 quarts of oil in that jug. That was $24 and change, and the filter was $5.38. Now you can buy cheaper oil, like I usually go to Costco to get my oil. If you do that, your oil is going to cost you around $18 because you get 2 jugs and a container, and it's like 34, 35 bucks. So it's cheaper that way. So basically you can do your whole oil change on your car, on most cars, for under 30 bucks. To do your own oil change, by all means take it to a dealer or Jiffy Lube. But if you guys want to get to know your car a little bit better, I really recommend you starting with an oil change. It's very simple but technical, because oil change is something you guys can do and is necessary to do to keep your old car, new car running longer on the road. So that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hope my brother learned a little bit about how to change his oil. And if you guys have any thoughts or questions, leave it down below. We'll see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.